This morning, I gave myself an insulin injection for my first meal of the day. This was maybe 20, 25 minutes before I started work, and I need to wait about 10, 10 minutes or so until the insulin matches up with my meal so that it creates a stable blood sugar. And I actually didn't have enough time to finish my meal in 10 minutes before work started. So I went to work and figured I might be able to eat while I do work. But when I was in there, a lady that works there wanted to help me to print off a timesheet because the printer was having issues and she knew better than me how to navigate it. And so I allowed that to happen and her to help me. However, it took a while, and as the time went on, I kept consistently thinking about how my blood sugar was going to drop because of my insulin acting and me not eating fast enough to keep in line with the insulin bolus. However, I was also encountered with anxiety, fear, and doubt about sharing this information because she wanted to help me. And for some reason, I avoided being transparent about my needs, my wants, out of the sake of someone else, to please someone else, because I want to make them feel good for helping me, and also I wanted to know how to print it off, so I was a little attached to that too. And the consequence of that was not only the emotional consequence of the feeling of withholding, but also the physical consequence of having low blood sugars for the next several hours. I think I've had 3 low blood sugars, or near. The first one was definitely low. The second 2 were still dropping, and so I continued to treat it. And so that actually impacted my work because I had to take a break for being low, and also many small breaks for treating the lows. And I eventually had the courage to take action and be honest about and transparent about what happened for me with this person, and it actually ended up being a really positive conversation. And she listened to me, she heard me, and she didn't realize that diabetes and meal and insulin timing could affect people that much and take that much skill. And we started discussing how many shots a day I take and different things like that. And so it seemed to help her develop more compassion for people with diabetes and what they might go through. As well, she shared about people with peanut allergies. A person she knows has it very severely, and they basically cannot travel on planes because of just the smell of peanuts can be deathly for them. So they've done very little travel, and they have to be very careful everywhere they go, and they have to be consistently transparent about their situation with people they meet, pretty much every person they meet, to protect themselves and from dying. And that is quite a challenge, I think, for some people to be that transparent, but it's very worthwhile, because she shared about another story where this couple kissed each other, and they weren't transparent about their peanut allergies, and one of the people ended up dying because one of the people had eaten peanuts. So this really is a teaching today about transparency and honesty, and seeing through what our doubts and fears and anxieties and excuses and attachments can block us from, um, as well as, if we aren't able to make that step in that moment, we can always make the best effort to be honest, transparent. Now again, when you notice it, that you weren't quite as honest as you could be, and it can really teach us. So that's a good teaching from diabetes that I'm getting from today, and that I want to pass on to you. Transparency is key.